Many of us are probably aware that Earl Sweatshirt is dropping his next album, Sick, on January 14th, which is next week. What most of us probably didn't know is that he was going to be dropping another single. We've already gotten 2010 and Tabula Rasa, but now he's given us another single titled Titanic. So, let's go bar for bar and break down these lyrics. If you're new here, these breakdowns are where I go through and read out the lyrics to a song and give my interpretation of what the artist is trying to say. My interpretations are not always correct, so if I've missed something or misinterpreted anything, please let me know in the comments below so everyone gets to learn a little bit. So, getting into the song, before I go into the lyrics, this is not something I expected from Earl in general, like the sound and the way he's rapping, so it's unique to say the least. Also, because the song literally came out about 28 minutes ago, the lyrics may not be fully correct, and I did try to edit and make sure it was fixed, but probably still missed a few things. So if I missed something there, let me know as well. So we go straight into the track.
Get to you straight, no frills. What I think might pay the bills. Spit on the cam like Machiavelli. Came home in the 2011.
So he's just gonna give it to you straight, no frills. He's not gonna try to make it sound flowery and sugar-coated, which, given the length of this track, makes sense. It's only like a minute 50 something seconds, so under 2 minutes he's just rapping straight through. He's giving it to you straight, no frills. And what he thinks might pay the bills, his rapping can pay the bills. And then he spit on the camera like Machiavelli, which is an allusion to the time where Tupac spit at the paparazzi. And he goes in and says, came home in the 2011. That's when he came back from boarding school, if I'm not mistaken.
Pasadena, John calling me, really ain't nowhere none of this shit was headed. I ain't even know. Intellect not gonna protect me. Bro just crashed, fucked up his Dodge.
This is the first part where I just had no idea exactly what he was saying. Pasadena John calling me Relin. No clue. Let me know if you do, though. And then he goes on and he's like, ain't nowhere none of this shit was headed, and a lack not gonna protect me. Lack, I mean, the first thing that came to mind was Cadillac. Like, Cadillac's not gonna protect me. But it could be something else. It could be, because the lyrics here are capitalized LAC, could stand for something. The LA cops, maybe. I mean, they ain't gonna protect him. But then his bro just crashed, fucked up his Dodge. So carrying on the possible car bars.
Now you shopping for another Hemi. Did a dash, got out of Dodge, crashed out grandmama car. They got tipped off by civilians.
So his bro who crashed the Dodge is now trying to buy a new Hemi. Hemi engines, motors, whatever the correct terminology is, seen in like nicer Dodges and the such. Did the dash, got out of Dodge. So did the dash, got out of Dodge, like he's getting up out of there, but also got out of the Dodge, the Hemi. And then crashed out grandmama car. Maybe he had someone's grandma's car. Maybe he was in grandma's car. They got tipped off by a civilian. So this could be talking about the LA cops again, if that's what we're to assume LAC may stand for. Again, I have no idea. It might be, but they got tipped off by civilians. Anonymous tip. Hey, there's something happening over there.
Yes, sir. Think I already feel it. Sweatshirt, cause you know our revenge is best served. Cold dish. Pressure cook roast. No assist, I'm out here on a mission.
I don't know what he means by I already feel it. Like, something's just in the air. He feels it. Sweatshirt, cold dish. I mean, if it's cold, you wear a sweatshirt. But revenge is a dish best served cold. But he's like, yo, you gotta make sure you wear a sweatshirt because revenge is gonna be served cold. But no assist, he's out here on a mission. He's just doing it on his own.
Triple doubling off for the strips. Get ghosts like I need a killer. Get ghosts like an apparition. Hometown, hold me down like a rock.
Continuing the solo or no assist sort of bars, the triple double. So in basketball, that's the thing. Get ghost like I need a killer, ghost face killer. Get ghost like an apparition, get gone, and like an apparition. Like, ghosts are often seen as apparitions because you can kind of see through them. An apparition, if I'm not mistaken. It's just kind of something translucent, something that it's kind of like an illusion, you could say. And then his hometown hold him down like a rock. Like, I don't know, like they hold him down, like the rocks that the town's built on.
So you know how I gotta skip it. So you know just how we living. Took it slow, saw what it could give me. Hit the road, go a mile a minute.
He's like, so you know how I gotta skip it. So skipping stones, skipping rocks, across some water. Just so you know how we living. I don't know what he's trying to get across with the "so you know just how we living" line, other than maybe he's just like, I'm kind of a rolling stone. I gotta keep moving around, but my hometown still holds me down. Could be something else there. But then him saying, took it slow, saw what it give me, hit the road, got a mile a minute. So he's taking his time. He's doing it on his own accord, whatever this is. But I think what he's talking about is just the music. Like, he's just he's doing his own thing. He's giving it to you straight, no frills. Like, he's not gonna try to make something with mass appeal, I guess.
Mask on like a super villain. Daniel, who you in the den with? Lying. Wasn't lying when I told dogs on the floor now cause I skinned them.
So, mask on like a supervillain, so like the mask for COVID, but also like the mask that MF Doom wore. And that's when he goes and says Daniel, which is Doom's actual first name. Who you in the den with? Lion. I mean, I guess you could kind of say like that sounds like him saying Doomale. Maybe, but that's a bit of a stretch. Wasn't lying when I told, so maybe that was just kind of a mix there. You wanted to say lion and who you in the den with. Wasn't lying when I told dogs on the floor because I skinned them. I mean, lying, like he wasn't laying down, but also he was telling the truth. But dogs on the floor now because I skinned them. Don't know where that came from. But whoever's on the floor, I mean, he's on the floor now because Earl took care of him.
On the 10 East homebound, I just broke down with the chemist. Midtown niggas pimping. You already get it. Iceberg Mac kinda slim. What they couldn't see sinking ships.
So it just sounds like he's on his way home, or this is reminiscing of when he would go home and just the things that he would see. But then the things that these people that he was noticing couldn't see would sink ships. So what they couldn't see sink the ships, which goes into the whole Titanic bit. Like, you couldn't see the iceberg for whatever reason. Like, there's these things that look, obvious. I mean, you got Iceberg Mac, kind of slim. So it was like, okay, well, maybe he just kind of tucked away. Maybe he's hiding behind something. And because you couldn't see him, sunk the ship.
Capsize me and use a flip. We know you. Send a postcard from the depth. Bleed the vein till nothing left. You look drained, you should get some rest.
Capsize means like the boat flipped, or is that? Yeah, I mean, for some reason when I think of capsize, like it's everything like with a boat sinking, but I guess it could just be the boat itself flipping because he says use a flip. So you are capsized, like you flipped sides, you switched up on them. Send a postcard from the depth, like wherever you end up down below. Wherever you end up, send a postcard. But then bleed the vein till nothing left. A couple things, bleeding the vein, like literally like bleeding out from your veins till there's nothing left. Or like when you're digging for minerals or oil or really whatever you're digging for, like eventually this vein that you've found will empty out, so you're just going to dig it till there's nothing left, which, probably not the best thing if you really think about it. But then you look drained, you should get some rest. That kind of goes into the bleed the vein till nothing left line, but also could just be like someone telling him, or he's talking to himself, like after all this, like, just you need to take some rest, like you just did too much. This song was really quick, really short, so he packed a lot in there, and I mean, definitely some things I've missed, like the lack line, like it could just be as straightforward as Cadillac, but I'm almost certain there's something else going on there. And then what was this about Grandma McCarr? the lion lines. Earl does that thing where the things he say like might make sense, like just overall, but when you really try to like look into it, it's like, oh, what are you actually trying to say here? So there was a lot to it. I don't really know how I feel about the song yet. I do think it would probably sound better in context of the album, although it is track 8, and I think there's like 12 tracks if I'm not mistaken. I could be entirely wrong. I have it pulled up right here. So no, it's 10 tracks, and this is track 9 actually. So this is basically like the second to last track. Yeah, I don't know what he could be trying to do with that then, because to have such a short track towards the end of the album, and then the last track, from what I saw, being like 3 minutes or so, I'm like, it's a little weird. But again, I'm sure it'll make more sense in context of the album. But we'll have to wait and see till next week. Overall, I think he was just talking. Like maybe he was just talking about the time when he came back from boarding school. Because just strictly off of him saying came home in the 2011, it could just be back in the day stuff. It could be now stuff. It's kind of hard to pinpoint. The only thing that's like, yeah, it might be now is because of the mask on like a supervillain line. Because COVID, but also you could say that at any point, really. Like, this is why I'm thinking maybe this is taking us back to or at least when we did the breakdown for 2010. Like, I was like, oh, maybe he's just kind of going back to that sort of mindset and that sort of sound. But it's not that same sort of sound. Maybe he's just, like, putting himself in that time of his life and making music based on that. After, reflecting on it for about 10 years or so. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's all I got, though. Let me know in the comments below, like I said, if I missed something or misinterpreted anything, because there was a whole lot to the song. Also, like and subscribe while you're there, because still trying to hit 1,000. We're so close. And please stay safe out there.